this is where it's at. High stepping through the front, got me lounging in the back, celebrating with the team, tell the DJ run it back. I've been getting money, ho, grinding with my kinfolk, riding in the Benzo, sitting on Lorenzo's. Now I got the seat back, my lap.
Yeah,
Eat that. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You see the Q code right there. So if you want to know why we're gigging, man, go just hit the Q code. And you can listen to Trill right now, out now on all streaming services. And you can check out the video out now on YouTube, going crazy right now, getting a lot of love, man. You need to go check that out. You see who I got in the building with me, man. You got my brother Vamp, I got Alexander the Great. And before we get into the show, let's have a word from my sponsors. Yeah. You already know what it is, man. It's a commissioner, and you're tuned into the commissioner's recap. Like I told you, I got Alexander the Great locked in with me, man. We're going to get the tail of the tape from him in a little bit later. I got my brother Vamp in the building as well. You already know. Yeah, we're good. We're locked in. It's a lot going on in boxing right now. Before we get into it, you got to go check out my new single, Savage.
Ooh.
My son, Zombie Rae, is out now on all streaming services. We just dropped that. Like I told you, my Trill out. You know what I'm saying? We got the video out. Now, I just dropped this, and I got the video coming because you know I'm working. I can't sit still. Something wrong with me. I got ADD. So I got to keep it moving, man. I got to keep working. You heard me? Vamp, talk to me, man. What's good with you?
Yeah, man. It's been a good weekend. I caught some boxing this weekend, man. Bit of a sleep fest. Buatsi and Parker. That was a bit disappointing. I was backing my boy Buatsi, man, but
yeah, I mean, I was backing him too. He got the dub, even though, you know, listen, let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk a little bit about it. I didn't have no notes on that, but it was a dope, exciting night of boxing. That I picked Buatsi to win.
Yeah, me too.
Because that's my man JB.
Just
you know what I'm saying? And JB. But what's the word? The classic women's neutral.
You caught me by surprise.
He's not ready.
Cheeky small.
He wasn't ready. My
I wasn't ready.
Good to see you.
The Q man didn't. The man didn't give me the cue, but I'm here now. How you doing, boys?
I was when I see you, I say, "Oh, Mr. Neutral." I got happy. I got happy. Usually, I'm much more smoother than that. You know what I'm saying?
He slapped him in there, boy.
Yeah. Everything. I got happy. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm only human. You know what I mean? Shout out to the class.
I look like Alexander the Great in that picture.
Yeah.
That was when I was celebrating Fury losing the first time.
Just truly true. What
that's Fury Usyk work, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just chopping it up about the fights going on over the week, and I was talking about my man JB, not JP, my man JB, Joshua Buatsi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had that fight with Parker. Look, I know I'm gonna sound a little biased because I picked Buatsi to win. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? Parker was doing a lot of, you know, he was getting out of there and stuff like that. But I myself was getting annoyed. Maybe because I was going for Buatsi, but I was getting annoyed with the flipping and the flopping and the falling and the, you know what I'm saying, the extra stuff, I was getting annoyed. And I see like the judges was getting annoyed as well. I guess it was just a bunch of old grumpy men who was watching this fight. You know what I'm saying?
The falling down for me, bro. The falling down. Oh,
it was the falling down from listen, he would win he be winning the round. Yeah. And then oh man, you know what I'm saying? And it pissed me off. And I swear that's what he was doing to some of these old school judges. He was pissing them off, and they was like, you know what, you won that round, but you lost it because all the and they was teaching him a lesson. That's what I got from that fight, my brother. Am I bugging? Tell me, Van.
Nah, you're not, bro. You're not. I agree a little bit, bro. I agree a little bit. Like I feel like the judges are starting to now kind of want a fight. Like, you know, like I'm trying to think of like others, like I don't know. Buatsi could have done a lot better. His feet were slow. He wasn't cutting off the ring. It wasn't like a pressure fight, but at least he was trying to make a fight. Like Parker, he was hitting him and moving. Okay, cool. He was outlanding. For me, like for a lot of the time, he was holding. And what got me was the ref. He warned him so many times, bro. So many times he warned him. He didn't take 1 point. Did he? Am I right? He didn't take 1 point, right? He didn't take 1 point, and it kept happening and happening and happening. So by the end of the fight, I was just so done with it. I didn't care anyway. I just end this, man. Get on. Like, it was the main event anyway. But when Buatsi won, I didn't know how to feel because he didn't win the fight. He didn't win the fight, but I just can't give a win to that much spoiling for me. It was just spoiling Parker. He was spoiling so much. Mr. Neutral, Alexander.
Talk to me, Mr. Neutral. Talk some sense to me, man. You know, talk some sense to me, Mr. Neutral. Am I just being grumpy?
To be honest, for a headliner, it was a bit of a stinker. You know, the fight will be remembered for the negatives rather than the positives, sadly. You know, both fighters were negative. Parker with his cuttlefish on the back of a boat impression, you know, going up and down. And Joshua Buatsi just looked so disinterested from round one. You know, I come back to you, Van. Did you feel guilty at the end for celebrating the win? You know, that's the question you got to ask yourself.
Nah, it was just the spoiling. When I was watching it, I already in my head Parker's won, and I was already annoyed that he won like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was already annoyed at winning like that. So by the time it came, I was just like, I'm done with it anyway. Like, I'll be honest. I already came away from that. I probably don't want to see any of these guys fight again, but more, but more Parker. There's no way I'm gonna watch Parker's next fight. Like, do you know what I'm saying? After seeing that, it's just.
Let me add one
more. I will watch
thing.
it. I'm being harsh. I will watch it, but I'm like.
He said I was bugging. I was bugging. I was bugging. Yeah, I'm gonna watch him.
I'm not gonna say I refuse to watch him, but I'm not looking forward to seeing Parker again, bro. That was crazy. Why you
But let me add one more thing. You know, these two results, these British judges cost me 48 points on these two gentlemen, these two Americans who benefited off these judges' decisions in prediction from their corner. And it's kept me at the bottom of the bloody league.
So who did you have?
Alex the Great, him there, and my man, the commissioner, the legend, aka Trill Dollar Bill, is getting to the top of the league, and I'm not that.
I was, as far as points go, I was the leader in points. All thanks to the judges. To the judges, you know what I'm saying? They were thinking about me this week.
Definitely, they had you in mind.
Yeah, Alexander the Great, my brother. You seen that fight? You seen Buatsi and Parker? We're all saying that it looked like Buatsi thought that this was just like a normal sparring match. That's the energy he got. What did you gather from watching that fight?
Honestly, you hit a nail on the head. Buatsi just had no interest, and he thought. I know he didn't train as hard as he did for the Callum Smith fight, because during that fight he brought it to Callum Smith. And when you try to go against 40 Cal, you got to be ready for a fight. Definitely. But he just he just didn't try. He acted like he already knew that the judges were going to give him the win. So he's just like, let me just walk out here and just show
Go
up and
through
get
the
a paycheck.
motions.
I hear it.
But go through the motions. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. But
Mhm.
man, I said on a show earlier, I said these judges need sacked, and I don't mean fired. They need to be put in front of an NFL linebacker and be run over, because there's a good argument that Buatsi lost the first 6 rounds, and you just can't come back from that. So it was a horrible fight. I don't feel bad for Parker because you're too young to need life alert when you falling down all the time. Like, come on.
I like that. I like that.
You can't hit the floor, man.
It was another controversial fight. The London Arthur fight.
The
controversial?
London, you mean the Troy Jones and
Liam
Cameron fight?
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the Liam Cameron fight. Yeah, that's what it was. And people didn't think my man Cameron deserved to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I missed that one. I only caught the end, though. I caught the result. I didn't watch the fight.
Some will say that that he come on strong the second half of the fight.
Yeah.
Some will say that it was too little, too late. However, he's a cracking lad, this Liam Cameron. I'm not going to hold back. Boxing Hub, be prepared, because once again, Mr. Neutral's just, I can't do it. I can't sugarcoat it. This was a Queensbury political night, and I'll leave it there.
You know what, Mr. Neutral? I was saying that same thing while I was watching the fight. Listen, I know who I picked, right? And I take my points. I'm not giving my points away. You know what I'm saying? I take my
I know that. Don't blame me.
I'm gonna be honest. When I seen that fight and I seen the scorecards, I thought to myself, they already knew who they was gonna pick to win that fight. He just had to stay on his feet. No, the reason why I say this, and I'm not even gonna be a jerk about it. I just feel like even me, even I felt guilty to it, because at the end I was like, yes, even though I thought that he lost the fight, I was glad he won because he had the better story. And I think that everybody was rooting for him to win, even the judges, no matter what, they was rooting for him because of his story. The things that he had to go through outside the ring, the death of his child, his daughter, all that stuff, the mental health, the addiction, stuff like everything he had to go through. You know what I'm saying? I think that everybody was rooting for him. So all he had to do, the moral victory was there, So I just think that nobody was going to go against him with everything he had. But I think that's basically why he won. I know it sounds weird.
Wait. I just want to say one thing, Trill. I'll let you go. Not quite the same, but it sounds a little bit like last week, man. A little bit.
He had the better story. It's a better story.
You know what? He's got us there. He's got us there. That's my whole premise with Fabio Waldi is about the story, and he's just aced.
Hey, and by the way, I say that to say, I don't believe Fabio Wardley was. I believe Fabio Wardley was going to win that fight. I just wanted to see him win it. Do you get what I'm saying? I just wanted to see him get it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, such a close fight, back and forth. Yeah. Like, I reckon he was going to do it.
But now it's a week later. Has it? On reflection, do we now come to the consensus that it was the correct decision?
I understand it a bit more now, but I understand it more now. But in hindsight, I still wish it went on, because, like I say, like, he's not gonna keep punching forever for the rest of the round.
But that's the thing he would have done.
He's gonna be tired. He's throwing a salvo, bro.
This is the mental thing about him. He has got this thing where he won't stop until he gets a signal. That man is a dangerous man.
But I don't know. It's a little bit dangerous, because now we're kind of saying, all he kind of has to do is hurt you and then throw a salvo, and we're gonna stop it because we're fearing for the opponent. They're in the ring as heavyweights.
I think, Pam, you've been saying that. You've been pushing that narrative pretty hard.
Not
I think
working.
that's a fear of yours, bro.
It's not
That's
working.
a real fear. That's a real fear of yours, bro. That's a real
Listen, Fabio is my guy, and I don't even want to make it seem like that. But no, I'm sorry. I brought it here, bro. It's just because when you were saying it was just funny, isn't it? Like the story, and I was just like,
and I don't mean to dim the mood because we all got smiles on our face, but I got a little bit of a bad news. Right here, man. Yeah. I heard Victor Conte at the age of 75, he dies after his battle with cancer. So rest in peace to Victor Conte, and blessings to his family. I lost my dad from cancer, so I got a personal beef with cancer. So fuck cancer. Y'all can take that. It'll bleep me, whatever. Usually I don't swear on it, but you know how I feel. I'm very passionate. Sometimes it's a line between my passion and my aggression, but that's how I feel towards cancer. Shout out to the people and the viewers that are watching from home. But yeah, my heart and my love goes out to the Victor Conte family. Listen, I'm gonna be 100 with you guys, because people are probably watching this that knew me, like my views and opinions on Victor Conte. This was a man who was alive when he was alive, and of course I didn't agree with the stuff from his past, or some things that he say negative about fighters that's fighting now, but boxing aside, he was still a human being, and my thoughts and my prayers go out to him and his family. I don't wish death on nobody. At the end of the day, all this is banter for me. So
absolutely. Yeah. I put on X on there today. I've been very vocal and critical of Victor Conte over the years. I'm a man of a certain age. I've grew up with Victor Conte. I've seen what he did to this, to not just many sports stars, Barry Jones, Marion Jones, Barry Bonds, excuse me. Superstars in various sports that have been affected by Victor Conte, but never in a million years would I wish that man any harm. And to hear that he passed away of pancreatic cancer without fuss, without broadcast, and without self-pity saddened me to the core as a human being, because no matter what, and as Trill quite rightly said, we do not wish any harm on any human being. It's all what we think of people is when they're alive. You don't ever take that into death. And I feel for his family, his friends, and his connections. And it must be a very difficult time for them all. And it saddened me today. And rest in peace, Victor.
Yeah, rest in peace, Victor. What's up, Alex?
Well, to give a younger man's perspective on this, because I didn't grow up with Victor Conte. Victor Conte has always been known to me in the boxing space, past controversies and all. And his legacy on earth is complicated, but Mr. Neutral put it very beautiful. The stuff you did in life will not follow you after if you left the right way. And I think for all his flaws as a man, he didn't do anything that couldn't be forgiven in passing. So it sucks that a family lost their patriarch, but all I can say is rest in peace, and hopefully, if time doesn't make it easier, makes it more bearable.
Yeah, definitely. I like that, Alex. Yeah, once again, rest in peace to Victor Conte. Vamp, what's your memory?
Pardon? Say that again.
Memories of Victor Conte.
Pretty much the same. I can't really add more to what you guys have said. I'm pretty much closer to Alex, really, in how I feel. But as I say, man, listen, none of us are here on this earth forever, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You do what you can do. 75 is a good number. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a good number, I believe, for all of us. So, yeah, man, he had a lot of time on here what he did. But it doesn't follow you. He went. I feel like he went with dignity, you know. And that's pretty much it, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Salute to Victor Conte. Mike Compencher reported Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios are closing in on a deal for a WBC welterweight title fight in the first quarter of 2026. Mr. Neutral, you know how I feel, man, about Ryan getting these opportunities and stuff like that. And I'm looking at this as another opportunity because they're everybody. First of matter of fact, I'm gonna follow the bouncing ball. What do you think about this fight?
Me?
Yes, Mr. Neutral. What do you think about this fight?
Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios.
Yes.
And the fact that Ryan Garcia has once again been given a title shot is beyond beggars belief. But however, if I was to put my business hat on, right, and I put myself at PBC, and I put myself at Ryan Garcia's manager, his people behind him, the business never stops. It's always working behind the scenes that we don't see. And then all of a sudden, these announcements come out, and it angers fans. But at the same time, the understanding of the business aspect of it is that Ryan Garcia
puts butts in seats.
Puts butts on seats. Correct, 100%. You can't escape that fact. Once you get your head around that, the acceptance starts to seep in. And and this is what's happened with a lot of fighters that have proven to be drug cheats, that have come back time after time, been given title shots or been given leeways or liberties that no other man in human history will be given.
Big Pharma Miller.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
There's a few. You can name a few. So this normalization of these boxers coming back the conversation starts to enter the fray. Now, if I'm looking at a boxing aspect of this, Mario Barrios will beat Ryan Garcia. There's a reason why Mario Barrios is the champion at PBC and at 147 pounds. He's been highly protected over the last couple of years. The WBC have failed to enforce mandatory after mandatory, which is normal for them. They're not into it unless your name is Dimitri Bivol, but we'll not go there. We're not going there right now. Okay? We're talking about Ryan Garcia and the fact that this young man has been given another chance at a title fight because of business. And when anybody compares boxing from business to sport, they're sadly mistaken. Boxing's never been a sport. It's not regulated like a sport. It's a prize fighting business with belts as the tokens of your achievements that you put in your glass cabinets at the end of your career, because the money changes. It's money, it's business, it's where you're at that time in your life as a boxer. And Ryan Garcia, unfortunately, and I use that word with the most conviction, unfortunately has been given another chance. And but I do think it's a setup for Barrios, for Rolly Romero, and a PBC unification straight afterwards.
Alex the Great, you hear this fight, you hear Ryan getting this opportunity against Mario Barrios. Do you like it? We know that Ryan puts the butts in the seats, and we know that Mario Barrios you know, a lot of people was at first was saying that they was heading to the trajectory of Adrian Granado, like he was going to be the PBC Mexican punching bag, but it didn't pan out that way. What do you think about when you hear this fight?
Listen, if the person's name wasn't Ryan Garcia, I would still have huge problems with this because he doesn't deserve the opportunity. He just came off the most embarrassing loss of his career, not because he got beat down, but because of who he lost to and in the manner he lost. No disrespect to Rolly Romero. He won that fight and he won it well, but I don't rate Rolly very highly. He's a good puncher, but he's not a great boxer. And Ryan lost to that. So I was very happy about that. And since it's Ryan Garcia, I especially have a problem with this because ever since Ryan Garcia failed that drug test and went on his outside of the ring problems, because if I get into it, I'm not going to stop. But I don't want to say personal because I've never met the guy, but it feels very personal to me. I do not like Ryan Garcia. He doesn't deserve this. And of course, it's against the most beatable champion if Mario Barrios is a 45-year-old plus Manny Pacquiao who came off the couch. He did nothing for the past 5 years, who lost to Ugas in his last fight before this. Like, what are we talking about? This is a setup for Garcia to get a belt because I do not think Barrios can beat Ryan Garcia.
All right, Vamp, you hear this? You hear both gentlemen?
Yeah.
About this fight.
The same, bro. You're putting me over here, and I can't disagree with the guys. It's a business, bro. It's a business. I don't want to keep saying the same thing.
They both had the idea that it was a business. We both agree it was a business. We all are on the standpoint that it's a business, right? It's a business. I don't feel like Ryan Garcia should be rewarded with all his antics and the things that he has done with all these opportunities. I really don't. But I do concede when I say like he does put butts in the seats. Here's the split though. Mr. Neutral is saying that Mario Barrios can beat Orion and will unify with PBC, will make a big unified card between Rolly and Mario Barrios, right? Now on the flip side, you got Alex here, my man, right underneath you, is saying that he thinks that Rolly, that Ryan will beat Barrios because this is like a gimme. It seems like a gimme. Like they're trying. I'm with you on that. It seems like everybody in their power is trying to get Ryan a belt.
That's where the money is, B.
It seems like everybody is trying to get him a belt, and it's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? So Vin, I bring it back to you.
All right.
What are you thinking when you hear this fight? Are you thinking?
All right.
Ryan, this is a win for Ryan, or is you thinking like, Mario Barrios might show up, and you know what I'm saying? They keep questioning Mario Barrios, the Aztec warrior, Azteca.
It's so hard to predict a Ryan fight because these last two fights were first one with a Devin one. We'll go back to the Devin one. He wasn't clean for, apparently, right? He wasn't clean for, and he was overweight, but he looked incredible. But he was overweight and weren't clean. And then the last fight was so bad. I just felt like he felt the power
from Tank when he quit with Tank. You gotta remember he quit with Tank, right?
He quit with Tank.
He went in here, and then he got in here with Devin. Came in overweight.
What are you gonna say, Mr. Neutral? Dehydrated.
And then he comes in here and gets mollywopped by Rolly.
That fight was so weird though. I feel like he felt the power
and just got scared.
Yeah, bro. He didn't want to be a meme. That left hook lifted him off his boots. Go on.
Mr. Neutral.
I remember Ryan Garcia come in there with a broken rib.
Tank.
Against Tank. Right? That's why
he's dehydrated and stopped.
No. Well, he was down to 136 pound catch weight. That was another thing. The fight was supposed to be at 140. Tank's, he does think Tank's weight.
But I'm looking at it like
Ryan agreed to the fight. He agreed to the fight. So
He
you
agreed
can't.
to the fight. The boxing is unforgiving.
The boxing, as you quite rightly say, he took a risk, he gambled, he lost. Right? Now,
Trey's right, bro.
the problem with Ryan Garcia is, right, is when I see Ryan Garcia, I see dollar signs. And that is sadly what this scenario is. And PBC need Ryan Garcia to sell the Rory fight, the unification of those two belts, whether it be Ryan Garcia or whether it be Mario Barrios. I think Barrios will get, if the fight's in Vegas and it goes the distance, Barrios it only has to stand up. He's getting that fight. He's getting that title. They need the Ryan Garcia effect to sell the next fight, not this fight. Win, lose, or draw, PBC win. I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Definitely, PBC is looking to do something big. Either way, the storyline will be good. Ryan can try to get back on Rolly, and this is a unified match. Or look at what Al Teca has been able to do. His back's been against the wall. We get the opportunity to be, you know what I'm saying, the guy that everybody always doubts, and he gets to come in here and be unified and still with Rolly, the guy with people doubt, the two guys that people doubt. That would be a good fight as well. The storyline is there. Actually, I'm going to start a little fight with you guys. And Trey started it. You know what I'm saying?
It's all your fault, Trey.
Yeah, shout out to my bro Trey. And Trey started it. You know why? Because he did this comment right here. Ryan Garcia was definitely wagering for that fight, right? And the reason why I said I'm going to start a fight is because of this. I've been really, really appreciating the IBF lately. Like, I've been really looking and dissecting all these sanctioning bodies, these belts and all that. And I'm starting to really respect the red belt more, right? Because to me, that's more fair. You dig? Because you don't have the fear of weight bullying. You don't have the fear of all this other stuff. So when I see these things of, oh, this person was dehydrated or he was weight drained and stuff like that, you shouldn't be coming in there 20 and 30 pounds more than what you weighed in at. I don't believe in that. There's a lot of people that done got hurt, seriously hurt. I remember Gotti did that to that man Joey, I forgot his name, but he ended up winning the lawsuit against the commission because I think Gotti ended up rehydrating. I guess the fight was at 135. Gotti came in at weighing like 155. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Oh, Arturo Gotti, rest in peace. And he sparked dude out, but I guess the guy was never the same. He retired. He's a trainer now, but he ended up suing the commission and he won. So when people talk about, the hydration, this person, if somebody is like naturally the bigger guy and you're fighting somebody at the weight class and you're coming in, and say if you're fighting at 140. And then you have this ability, because that's really not the weight class that you should be fighting in because you're taller but you just have this ability because you could lose weight. You know what I'm saying? But you rehydrate like 25, 30 pounds. Is that fair too? Like, this is what I'm trying to say. Is that fair, or being weight drained? Is that fair, or should you just be fighting at the weight you're supposed to be fighting at, punk? Like, what is it? What is it? Is it weight drain, or you ain't fighting at the weight you should be fighting at?
That's a slippery slope, in my opinion, Trill, because if we look at someone like Sebastian Fundora, it's like, holy hell, how the hell are you at 154? Like,
but his frame, though. But like a frame, like we never hear of people like him struggling. I'm talking about people who actually normally struggle. We see these guys walking around here 190, and then they're struggling to make these weights so they can have this advantage the day the fight comes. When they're fighting a guy that's coming in weighing one he rehydrates 10 pounds over, like the IBF allows you to do. I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's fine to make sure you're healthy. But to come in and you're fighting the guy, you come in, you hydrate 8 pounds to 10 pounds, and this guy's coming in 25 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's unfair.
I hear that. I come from a wrestling background, so my opinion on this is if you can make the weight, you can compete at the weight class. But the second you miss weight, you are not allowed back in that weight class. You got to move up, son. It's time. So that's my policy. If the only exception for me has been extremely short notice fights, then there's some grace. It's like, hey, I didn't have time to adequately prepare and lose the weight. But if you had a full camp and you missed weight, no, move up and no more. That's my policy.
I like that.
Mr. Neutral, how do you feel about my whole IBF rant? Loving IBF and the 10-pound hydration. Is weight training thing a real thing? Like, am I bugging? Is I think fighters using it as a disadvantage type joint or advantage type joint? Is it a thing?
Well, let me tell you one thing, right? The IBF has been around for a long time, decades. Okay. If people think that this 10-pound rehydration clause is a new thing, they're sadly mistaken. It's been a long time in effect. And I am a big fan of the IBF for the very same reasons that you have said, Trill. They keep the fight honest, right? Because there's too many boxers around these days. I'm not going to name names. You'll know who they are. Who come into a fight weigh-in emaciated. Okay, they come in dangerously low on body fluid, and it's obvious they're fighting out of their wrong weight category. And then they got 2 days to put on 25-pound plus, and it's wrong because they're fighting at 165 pound for a 140-pound fight on fight nights. The IBF at least try to keep it within 10 pound and give both boxers the same opportunity to rehydrate to the same weight. So 10 pound is still another weight and a half division higher than you are weighing in at.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's still another factor that people, are too critical of the IBF for saying, it's bad that they're not allowed to rehydrate over 10 pound. And an example of that was Chris Eubank and Conor Benn, and that wasn't even an IBF bout. That was just they took that stipulation of that contract to emulate the IBF stipulation and to keep it honest, to
and
keep the fight.
Still have beef with that.
And fight night, Chris Eubank still managed to outweigh Conor Benn, but because of his what I call poor discipline in getting down to weight in the first place, because 3 weeks before that fight, he was 180 pounds. He had to try and lose 20 pounds in 3 weeks and failed by the smallest of margins, and it cost him financially. So the IBF for me are out of the 4 main sanctioning bodies, and always the last to be considered as a big belt, and that's unfortunate. Yeah. The WBO is like the 3rd biggest belt now. The IBF have been around since the 70s.
Definitely.
The WBO didn't come in effect until the mid-90s.
Yeah, we always.
And yet the WBO is now considered a better belt than the IBF. I beg to differ. Yeah, the only problem with the IBF is it's not recognized out of the top 3, if you like. Now,
when I was younger, man, it was always the green and red belt.
Yeah, it's because of the money.
Yeah, the green and red belt
associated with the belts. Look at Caleb Plant before Canelo. After he beat Billy Joe Saunders, he wanted Canelo. He wanted Billy. Caleb Plant's belt, and Caleb Plant held out for $10 million. If it wasn't Canelo, he wouldn't have got $2 million for that belt. But the other belts traditionally guarantee you a little bit more. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Vamp, what you thinking about this whole? You have something to say, Alex?
Yeah, I have one thing to add to what Mr. Neutral is saying, because the IBF being ranked like the lowest of the 4 recognized world level titles, it's because fighters don't want to fight for that belt because they hate that 10-pound weight limit restriction and the fact
because they're weight bullies, Alex.
Yeah,
You're fighting in the wrong division, Alex.
I hear you, but also because the IBF is the strictest in enforcing their mandatories. You will fight often if you are the IBF champion. It doesn't matter if it's for the biggest purses or for, a $250,000. You're fighting.
You're fighting. You are definitely fighting for that belt. It ain't no sitting around. What you think of Vamp about me praising that the IBF red belt? You know what I'm saying? What you think?
No, bro, you're right, bro.
Yeah.
I love the IBF. I'm a bit more of a new school fan, as in my schooling isn't so much in the traditions, I still consider myself a casual, right? And the IBF, in what I love about boxing, because I look at these fighters as superhuman, right? The IBF kind of follow that and make these boxers really earn their stripes and stuff. And in my examples, for example, I follow AJ's career closely, and the IBF was, I believe that was the first belt he won. Somebody correct me. Did he win that first of Charles Martin?
Yeah, correct.
Was that the IBF? Right, cool. And I believe so. I had the IBF kind of high anyway. And then, for example, when Usyk took the belts off AJ, and he had to fight Dubois to keep the IBF belt. Do you get what I'm saying? That kind of stuff is what keeps the division flowing. Do you know what I'm saying? Before that, how long was the whole division waiting on Tyson Fury, etc. The IBF kind of is it seems to be the board that keeps things moving, that doesn't seem to worry so much about people's reputation and allow people to hold on to belts because of situations that, you know what I'm saying? So the IBF make it, I know what Mr. Neutral said about it being a business, but without the IBF, they kind of make it a little bit feel like a bit of a sport. They keep that side of things going a little bit. And to the weight bullying thing, the point about the weight bullying thing generally, I don't know. It's more, I look at it on a case by case basis, and it's more of like everyone wants to get an advantage, isn't it? Everyone's trying to get an advantage, and that's how it seems. For someone like, if Tank or Ryan Garcia, they had to make that fight, right? And those two being such big stars at the time made that massive fight, right? So somebody's got to give something in that sense, right? But so I don't believe that they're the same size. So at some point, there's got to be some sort of catch weight, right? Everybody's giving up something in the ring. But I don't know, somebody correct me, when Tank fought, I don't know, Frank Martin or somebody like that, if there's like anything stipulating there, then I'll say, oh, no. But if there's not, then just fight.
It wasn't.
No, I think the fight you're thinking of is Mario Barrios. Is the one?
Oh yeah, when he won the belt.
Yeah, when he went up.
Little things like that.
Said, I will never go to 140 ever again.
I don't think Tank will box ever again.
You're right.
Check this out. Jake Paul's most valuable promotion is thinking about rescheduling his next event from November 14th to December. The uncertainty comes after the alleged incident involving Gervonta Davis connected to a lawsuit filed Thursday in Miami. They even thinking of a replacement opponent for Jake Paul. What do you think about that, man?
Suspicious.
Tank's done.
Suspicious.
Mr. Neutral already said, but yeah, no. Tank, I can't see Tank getting in the ring again, man. He shouldn't even been here, bro. He was supposed to fight Roach. Even at Roach, he brought him up, was supposed to knock him out. That fight went how it went, right? Jake Paul was ringside. He was there in the ring. After the fight, they was asking about Tank's next fight, if he's going to run it back with Roach, and Tank was already moving weird. And then he's like, the next fight, the person who's supposed to fight, he was there. He wouldn't say who it was, but he kept saying that his next fight, his next opponent was there at the fight, and Jake Paul was there. So this was always in the works. He planned for it to go this way. Now he's not even having that. So it's
like he planned on doing this, and this is why you can't do this in a sport. I always get mad at fighters. I was even getting mad at Devin when I felt like he was overlooking Brian Norman talking about other fights on the horizon. I hate when fighters do that. I really grinds my gears. So when Tank, and that's where you see what happened. He was thinking about retiring after this fight with Jake Paul. This was it. This was the curtains closed. I was telling everybody before that fight, don't be surprised because of all the weird things that he was talking about. Mr. Neutral, is this fight? You think this fight's gonna be off? Do you think that this is it? I think that this was supposed to be a cash out for Gervonta Davis. Yes. This was a cash out, and we was not gonna see no more of him. Do you think this fight takes place, or do you think it gets moved to December, or do you think it gets moved to December with a new opponent, like an Anthony?
Well, it's funny you should just mention this live on your show, because I've just got word that MVP have officially called off Tank versus Jake Paul. However, if you look at the timeline on social media and that, and if you listen to the likes of Eddie Hearn and Nikita Bedarian, right, of MVP, some stars are starting to align for me here. Eddie Hearn has said that that Anthony Joshua will fight in December of 2025. He's got 3 dates left.
Piss
right?
off.
No, listen to me now.
I don't want to listen.
No, you will listen. You will.
I don't believe this.
Mute yourself. That Eddie Hearn has announced that Anthony Joshua will be back out in 2025, the end of. There's only 3 fight dates that he can choose from. And all of a sudden, Tank Davis has been officially removed from this fight. Nikita Bedarian and Team MVP have said that they're going to move the date of the event from November to a December card. The money is on the table for me, gentlemen. Eddie Hearn said not 3 days ago.
I feel you.
That if the money is right,
AJ there every night.
Anthony Joshua would take the fight. I now am convinced more than ever that Jake Paul has pulled a coup here, and Anthony Joshua will face Jake Paul, I think, December the 13th.
Listen, this will be the fight that will sell crazy. And if you do it on Netflix and you do it at Wembley,
we're talking about. Go on.
Joshua can't fight on Netflix. He's
exactly. He's an ambassador on the Zone.
Oh yeah, that's right. But do it in Wembley. Do it on the Zone.
Wait, something happened. What's happened, Mr. Neutral?
Wait a minute.
Announced.
I've just heard news. Jake Paul will be facing Nate Diaz.
There you go.
Anthony Joshua will be on the Richards versus Aziz card in Ghana.
That's
cool.
Oh.
He's fighting Martin McCauley.
Okay.
I think it's fighting Martin McCauley. It could be Tony Yoka.
On the card. Surely that's the main event.
I never said on the card. He's on the same card.
Okay, but that's not an undercard or whatever.
No, as Richards Aziz. Richards Aziz is not the main event.
Oh, I got you. Because I saw the poster. I assumed that it was a main event because it was on the poster. All right.
Now, this is not 100%, but it's highly likely, according to sources, that December the 20th in Accra, AG will be fighting.
Right. We're speaking English now.
To be announced.
Well, yeah, that's English to me now. Where you was trying to go with the Netflix Jake Paul, that was nonsense, bro.
Right. I tell you, the money is always there for that fight with Netflix because they've got the
Guys, come on, dude. All right, all right, cool. But okay, but listen, let's be honest. Jake Paul, he did lose to Tommy Fury, right? He fought Mike Tyson at this age. But
the reason I think
even Tank was crazy. Tank was because of the weight. It was interesting, but Tank, if that fight was gonna be real, that would have been interesting for me to see if the Tank's really live. Anthony Joshua against Jake Paul. What are we doing here, guys? Do we not already see Ngannou? What are we really doing here? This is ridiculous.
No, listen. This is what we're doing, right? This is the entertainment business. You feel me? This is what Mr. Neutral was saying before. Some of these fights are just pure entertainment. This right here was that Ngannou with AJ, where AJ had to set things right. He had to set things right for boxing. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury went in there and did life or death with Ngannou. So AJ had to go and make things right. AJ can go in there and make things right again. Everybody doesn't
bro. Put AJ in the ring with Jake Paul. This is murder, bro.
Look, it's the same thing with Ngannou. He ain't had no. Listen, you look at it like this. Everybody's going to pay to see this because they're going to pay to want to see Jake Paul get sparked out. Jake Paul doesn't care about he's going to make the money. He knows what this is. He knows that people come to these fights to want to see him lose. He played into that blueprint. He knows he played.
Yeah, but look who he's fighting, bro. Look who he's fighting.
But he's going at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
he's fighting AJ.
Yeah,
they're gonna get up from they can make up to 30 to 50 million for this fight. I will go outside in my backyard with AJ right now for 30 to 50 million. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going outside and throwing the ones with AJ for 30 and 50 million. I'm going outside right now. I'll see y'all in a second. AJ's outside.
I feel you, Trill, but the one thing I don't want from this, besides Jake Paul making a shit ton of money, because fuck that guy, pardon my French, but is him having a legit reason to be like, I tried my best and try to give the good old college try speech. No, I want this guy knocked out by someone that no one's ever heard of, just so we can say, point and laugh, Jake Paul is and has been a bum.
I'll
be a bum in the shower.
Listen, I know Jake Paul rubs us all the wrong way, but I have to respect the fact that this young man has really been boxing. He has brought the who's around him, even the people that he's not supposed to be around, like the Panama Lewises and stuff like that. This guy is bringing out everybody to try to help him, teach him how to box. I gotta respect it. He is living the life of a fighter, so I gotta respect that. And if he wants to challenge himself against AJ, I say, why not go get knocked out for some M's?
I just don't believe he would have ever really tried to do it.
I hear you, Trill, but still, it'd be different if he was just saying, I want to be the best boxer I can be. He's saying, I am going to be the best boxer in the world. Like, this dude said he beat Mike Tyson, acted like he beat him in his prime. Like, I got the GOAT on my resume. I'm like, piss off.
Alex, we already know. And do you know what's annoying? The fact that this motherfucker was begging the WB fucking C and WBO for ranking, and yet is fighting.
And they gave it to him, and then they revoked it immediately.
They gave it to him, and now he's he could be potentially fighting Nate Diaz. Look, I know that he's probably lost a bit of weight that he thought he was going to fight Tank. He's had to come down to a bit of weight, and maybe a Joshua was just too far of a reach right now to try and jump back up to 230 pounds or whatever it is that he feels he could fight him at. I understand why that fight is too much of a reach. It was a bit of a wish list for me. I just want to see the boy knocked out. He's a cocky wee prick, but that's what it is. But I understand the business and the let's see the theatre behind him, because he is a product, he's a brand, and he brings that brand to his boxing. And if you understand that, then you understand that he's there to make the money. As you guys quite rightly said, to bag as much paper as he can out of this game. And he'll continue to do that for a long time, because whilst he can get fights and still be amongst the conversation with professional boxers, the people are keeping him alive in conversations.
Yeah.
You guys gonna watch it if it's Nate Diaz? You already watch it?
No, I've already seen it.
I know. Yeah, definitely. We already seen it. Let's talk about a real fight, and it's time for Tale of the Tape with Alexander the Great. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some real predictions. And Alex, let's talk about it. Victor Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin. What do you got? It's the Tale of the Tape with Alexander the Great.
All right. I originally wasn't going to be on the show today, but thankfully I was working outside, so I was able to come on. I tried to record a video. I recorded it 20 times, and I could never get it right, so I had to do it in person. With Tale of the Tape, we got Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus Erickson Lubin. I'm going to give you facts and the breakdown of both men and how I think this fight's going to go. On one side, we got Virgil Ortiz Jr., the 27-year-old, undefeated 23-0 fighter. No, all but 2 of his wins have been by knockout. He is 5'10". He's fighting out of Great Prairie, Texas. He weighs in at 153 pounds. He's got a 70-inch reach. Some notable names he's fought and beaten has been Israel Madrimov, Sergey Boachuk, and Samuel Vargas. Now, it's not the deepest resume for an elite fighter, but the fact that he's beaten his 2 most difficult tests back-to-back in Boachuk, which was a very close fight. You could argue he lost, but then he goes out, he beats Israel Madrimov, who had just come off a fight with Terrence Crawford and didn't look too bad. You could say he's improved his game. He's a come-forward brawler. He embodies the Mexican style of I'm coming forward to fight, and no matter what, you're fighting too. So I'm really looking forward to see how his body work and his straight right hands can work against the southpaw and Lubin. Now, speaking of Lubin, we got Erickson Lubin, who has a pretty good record himself. He's 27-2, and he's around 5'9" tall. He's from Orlando, Florida. So this brother is tough. He's been in there with some pretty decent names. He hasn't beaten all of these guys, but he's been in there with Fundora. He's been in there with Little Charlo. Is that Jermel or Jamal? I think it's Jermel. Anyway, he's been in there with Little Charlo. He lost, and I believe he got stopped. But he also beat Ramos Jr. And Ramos Jr. is probably the best fighter he's beaten. And I rate that win. That's a pretty good win in my book. So while he hasn't beaten the elite, he's always come up to fight. When he fought Sebastian Fundora, that was a brutal 9-round fight. He took some big punishment, and he gave as good as he got later on in the fight. I thought he was going to get stopped in the first 2 rounds when he got dropped really bad, but he came back to drop Fundora. So he did better than my guy, Tim Zhu, which I'm still salty about, but hey, that's not this fight. So what I see for this fight, we got the southpaw boxer puncher in Lubin, who relies a little bit too much on his hooks, but they call him the hammer for a reason because he throws big hooks, especially that lead right hook. He loves throwing that. For my money, this is how I think the fight's going to go. I think that Lubin is going to make defensive mistakes that he makes in every single fight. He did not keep his hands up, and he stands with his back against the rope way too much for my liking. Now, he has a 4.5-inch reach advantage over Virgil Ortiz, which is very different from against Fundora, who is just able to keep him long and bully him against the ropes. I'm thinking that Ortiz is going to make this his fight because all Ortiz knows how to do is come forward and fight. It almost bit him in the rear end against Boachuk when he got dropped twice, but he was still there and still toughing it out. Lubin tried to toughen it out against Fundora, but his face couldn't hold up, and I'm thinking that we're going to get a unanimous decision for Virgil Ortiz Jr. I think he's going to be too active and too good working the body and disguising his body hook, his right body hook that he likes to throw, with a right uppercut that Lubin's not going to see coming. He's going to taste the canvas by round 3, and he'll survive the distance because he's so damn tough, but I've got Virgil Ortiz Jr. winning. If you want to look at the betting odds, Ortiz is a minus 650 favorite, and Lubin is a plus 400 underdog. So if you believe in underdogs, you might make some money. But I'm going with the favorite. I'm going with Virgil Ortiz Jr.
The beautiful take from Alexander the Great. Thank you for that. I gotta say I'm with you on that, Alexander the Great. I seen Ortiz been coming on strong lately, and Erickson Lubin, that was my guy. I really had a lot of love for Erickson Lubin. I thought it was too much too soon. I feel like they threw him to the lions too soon. This was a guy who could have been a real big player, big star in the game. I felt like his people, his team did him wrong. Going in there with Jamel and getting stopped in the second round where he was still throwing the punches when he got dropped. That was a devastating knockout. He was still on the
Is that round one, isn't it?
It was round one or round two? It was one of those rounds. I know it was just a counter shot, and he just couldn't get up from that. Not only that, the type of way that he fights, this guy, he fights like every fight. He makes every fight a war. He makes every fight a war, and even with the fight with Fondora, that fight as well. He was bruised up. His face was all mangled and messed up. He looked like that episode of Martin when he fought Thomas the Hitman Hearns, and his face was all knotted up and stuff like that. He looked like that. It looked really, really bad for him. So I'm thinking the same with Victor Ortiz. He's the fresher out of the two, believe it or not. And I think once it gets into it and it gets into a war, I think all those wars that Erickson Lubin's been in, and his face being mangled and all that, it's gonna affect him in this fight, because this fight is gonna end up turning into one of these, because they both are gonna come forward. They both gonna come forward at one time.
It's not gonna last long, is it?
It'll be a fight of the year contender.
Yeah, it definitely will. It definitely will for as long as it. I think it will. He can hold up. There's a possibility that Erickson Lubin might. You know what I'm saying? They might stop it. You know what I mean? And the fights in Texas. You know. It's really crazy, but I got Victor Ortiz as well. The safe one would be to say, yeah, the UD, but I think he could possibly stop him later in the rounds, like the 11 for 12. Vamp, how do you feel about Erickson Lubin and Victor Ortiz?
Yeah, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. I haven't got a dog in the race, so I love these kind of fights where I like both fighters. They both come forward fighters. They're both always in exciting fights. So it's just like a crash. It's just like, wow, who comes out on top? I love this type of fight. So I'm excited for it. If I have to choose someone, I'm just going to go with Ortiz. Just from what I've seen, just from what I believe that he does consistently. I believe that if they're both at their best, which is what I expect, yeah, I believe it's going to be a shootout and Ortiz comes out on top, because that's his bag, I believe. But yeah, that's me.
It's almost impossible to outfight Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Yeah.
You either got to stun him bad or you got to make him look silly.
Yeah, it's one of those. And it's going to be a shootout, right? That's what, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think I think the person that's going to be Victor Ortiz is going to be a boxer. It's a boxer. Mr. Nuchiro, how do you feel about this fight with Victor Ortiz and Virgil? Excuse me. I kept
saying Victor as well. He set me up.
I don't know why I keep saying Virgil Ortiz and Erickson.
You said it best, Trill. You know, the way these styles will come together. These two love their wars. This is going to be a fan spectacle. This is like a British title fight where two men just slug it out in the middle of the, that typical British lack of sweet science, just slug it out. And I think this is the American version of that. I think Virgil Ortiz his pressure style is suited for Lubin, because Lubin's not afraid to get into a battle. He's not afraid to sit in the middle of the ring and trade. And I've seen a lot of Americans on X and in the group chats who are very confident about Lubin's abilities to negate Virgil Ortiz's attack. And I happen to agree. I think Lubin is stronger than Ortiz. However, Ortiz has that belligerence about him. He has that never say die attitude. He'll go to his last. He'll die on his sword. He's that kind of warrior. So Erickson is going to have to dig a little bit deep and use every ounce of power that he possesses to stop Virgil Ortiz. And I think he can do it early. He's got to hurt Ortiz early to set the tone for the fight and to stop Ortiz dominating. That's what I think. But I'm so down the middle with this one. It's 50-50 for me. And both guys can stop each other with their abilities. And both guys can get knocked out with each other's power. So I'm down the middle. I haven't made my mind up. Prediction League is on Wednesday. I'm going to make it then.
Yeah. Mr. Neutral, I would say if you're looking for something that would separate them, look at Lupin's defensive deficiencies because he does get hit. And now Virgil does get hit too, but at least he keeps his damn hands up.
Yeah, I was worried about the 2 knockdowns from Boachuk, who I don't think hits as hard as Lubin. I think, Virgil Ortiz in his style is there to be hit as well. And with a power puncher like Lubin, the hammer, for good reason, he's called that. I think this is not a Madrimov. This is not a Boachuk. This is a much stronger opposition.
All roads to this fight seem to lead to
that man there.
This man here, Boots. Do you see this fight? Do you see that this fight happening right afterwards? And I want to say, much love to Alexander the Great. He got to leave us right now, but we got the tail of the tape from Alexander the Great. Just wanted to say thank you to the brother for stopping by. We appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate the tail of the tape with Alexander the Great. The fight, though, everybody's saying will happen next is with Boots. Me personally, I'm the commissioner for a reason. I don't think that should be the next fight. This is going to be a tough fight with Erickson Lubin. I'm against going back to back. I think it damages the fighter and it takes years off of the fighter. This is going to be a tough fight. And with this tough fight, I don't want to see him going in right directly into a fight with a fresh Boots who didn't have a tough fight.
Yeah, 1 round.
He didn't have a tough fight. He had a gimme. There's nothing wrong with it. He had a gimme, and he did what he did. This fight right here is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they could do something on the same card or something like that later to build it up, but I wouldn't want to see him jumping right into it. Is the commissioner being too overprotective? Talk to me again.
No, you got a good point. And what you see, these kind of fights that get built up over time, I don't really want anything in between it. And what you just said, you can't really deny it. Boots went up. He had gimme. He did have a gimme. 1 round, pap. It was over, right? And then if Ortiz goes into a war, right, which it looks highly likely that will be the case, them two going into that fight, it will just be a little bit annoying. I back Boots. I think I want Boots to win, and I believe he would beat Ortiz. I just believe that. But I don't want it in these kind of circumstances. And it is a Turkey thing to kind of do those kind of things. He kind of just, it's like somebody said it, and it's right. It's like he's playing Fight Night or some shit. He's just a big boxing fan that just puts his favorite fighters together and puts up the money. You guys just fight now. You guys just fight. He doesn't really follow not necessarily not follow, but he just makes the fights without thinking so much. Hey, let's just do it. As a fan, I'm going to really enjoy that fight if they make that next. But part of the back of me will be like, oh, Ortiz wasn't really given the best shot, at winning.
Yeah, what you thinking, Mr. Neutral? Is the commissioner being overprotective again?
You're mute.
You may be guilty of that, actually, my man. You've got this WBA thing with Terence Crawford moving up to 168 pound, becoming champion, recessed, and he made Virgil Ortiz interim champion. The elevated Abbas Baru. Eddie Hearn cannot look back now, right? He can't look back down the rankings for a fight with anybody else. He cannot wait for Lubin and Virgil Ortiz. He'll see that Boots is already in possession for a title shot, and I do believe that Boots will be fighting Abu Barras next for the full title. I think the winner of Lubin and Ortiz will then become mandatory to that winner of Boots and Abu Barras.
Okay.
Abbas Baru, even. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a lot of people in that 154 weight class, man. And I also want to put my man in the mix. Shout out to my man, Brandon Adams. He's at 154. I would love to see Boots and Brandon Adams get it on. I think that would be a good fight.
It would be a good fight, but
too dangerous.
It's not that, Trill. It's the simple fact that Eddie has spoken so highly of Boots. You remember a couple of weeks ago that he called Boots the greatest fighter that he's ever worked with. After a shout like that, for him to go back to a Brandon Adams would be seen as a negative with the fans and the brand of Boots. As I said before, Eddie's very good at putting you into positions when you sign for him and you state that you want to be a title. He'll take you to your word. He'll make it happen for you. He convinced Boots to re-sign with him, based probably on those promises of getting title fights. He's now the interim champion of the WBA. He can only look up. He can't be looking at defenses of this WBA interim. That's not where he wants to be. He's like 28 years of age. He's got 30 odd fights. His resume is begging for a big name.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm on the ring right now for the 154 pound rankings. Right, number 1 is Virgil. Number 2, Sebastian Fundora. Number 3 is Israel Madrimov, and Beckham is number 4. Erickson is number 5. Xander Zayas number 6. Boots number 7. Brandon Adams number 8, and Ramos is 9. And so I mean,
he's an interim champion.
Xander Zayas is not going to fight nobody.
Because he's an interim champion, he's not ranked in any other of the sanctioning bodies now. So, as far as Eddie's concerned, he can look for a Madrimov. He could look for any of them names in that top 7, which he's included. But the thing is, he wants a title. The WBA is the only route, because Sebastian Fundora is not going to fight Boots Ennis right now.
Yeah, definitely.
He doesn't need that. He wants to keep that belt as long as he can. PBC want to keep that belt as long as they can. Once you take into the politics behind, you start to put Boots against the ropes of who he can fight. And
you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a tournament. Tournament, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it. It's called the Commissioner's Belt, right? And I'm gonna need your guys to help me out. And we're gonna go through these rankings, and we're gonna pick the guy who deserves the belt in that weight class, and we're gonna take it from there.
Let's do it.
and this is going to be the commissioner's belt. We over our time, but this is iBoxing Hub. This is my home. They let me do my thing. So we got a couple more topics to talk about. Actually, we got 2 more. Wow. The drama. Layla Ali versus Carissa Shields. Is it finally over? They both dropped videos explaining their side. Where do you stand, gentlemen? Where do you stand? Mr. Neutral, I'm gonna swing this to you. Where do you stand? Who do you think Layla Ali is bugging, or you think Carissa Shields is bugging? Both women have dropped videos. Where do you stand?
I think Carissa Shields has been so disrespectful to my fantasy wife and Layla Ali.
Sorry, bro.
I think it's terrible what she said about the goat, the blood of the goat. I find it disrespectful. However, Layla Ali has played the game here. She's learnt of her father before her on the art of selling fights. And she's slowly enticing not only Carissa, but the fans in. Saying, remember my name. Remember who I was 18 years ago. I'm not gonna rush this. She said it herself. I do it in my time. Respect who I am. But I get Carissa as well. Unfortunately, in this day and age of women's boxing, in her divisions, she's very short on competition. And now that she's conquered as much as she could without further contenders, there's no B.A. Baracus coming out of nowhere, for the Clarissa Shield story of Rocky, that she's come and dominated women's boxing. So I get the business side of it. Again, we come back to paper. Who's the biggest star out there? That's not currently boxing, but it's the biggest name to, let's see, if she was to have a Layla Ali on the resume, in the annals of history, Carissa Shields will go down as the legend.
Yeah, definitely.
She needs the name.
Vamp, where you stand?
So the fight doesn't need to happen, in my opinion.
I should just let y'all know, Layla Ali dropped 2 videos. In the first video, she just had receipts. And then she dropped another video saying that she doesn't need to fight.
I saw that.
She says, that, she doesn't feel like this girl, the way that she came at it, the disrespectfulness, she doesn't deserve to share the likeness with her. She doesn't deserve to make no money with her. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't deserve to, being around her, So, yeah, the fight's not going to happen. Well, how do you feel, though? Where do you stand with these women when you see this battle?
Pretty similar to what Mr. Neutral was saying. In my opinion, especially with the way how Layla Ali put together that first video, that was incredible, man. And it was I can't believe there's even a comeback. When I saw Carissa Shields make a little video, I weren't even interested in it. Everything was laid out really in the first.
She had to go the whole race baiting way. You lose. You lose when you have to go. I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blinking, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, and I'm black. You know what I'm saying?
And
I'm gonna out black her then.
I wouldn't even known that she done that, because the first video was so perfect. And then when you think about who Layla Ali is in this sport, there's just certain ways that you don't go about things. You just don't go about things in certain ways. And then that, just who she is, right? And then what she's done in her own right, despite who she is, what lineage she's come from. And then for Clarissa Shields to kind of, all right, cool. But then with the video, have it all together and have it all laid out in order how Layla put it together. It's just like, that's put a really bad taste. Like Clarissa Shields, she did have a reputation of kind of being like that, I think remember that saga she had where she said she beat Keith Thurman, and then there was that video that came out of her getting dropped in sparring, and then she's talking about she got dropped because there was no padding, so she went to get her knife and all of these things. That this is craziness. Like, you get what I'm saying? You're volunteering this information to us, bro. Like, this isn't good. You get what I'm saying? Like that, but it's just like, all right, cool, whatever. This with the Layla Ali, that just kind of finished it for me. But I think Mr. Neutral's put it together kind of perfectly. She's in a weird position where she's dominated the sport. She doesn't really have any competition. And unfortunately, the money necessarily isn't there to match the status and celebrity that she feels that she has, and that she kind of rightfully has within that sport. So with that, trying to get Layla Ali, but the age difference, everything else it's just there's nothing else there for her. You can see her, she's trying to find something to push herself, to motivate her. But the way how she went about it is one thing. Everybody can build a narrative. But that Ether video, just kind of killed it. It's just, all right, it's really obvious what's happening. And we just kind of leave it there, man. Like, come on, what's the age difference between these two? Come on, man.
And it shows, like, the age difference shows. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and yeah, best luck to those women. I just hope that Clarissa Shields, she finds her happiness. What I see is a young lady in Clarissa Shields. She wants all the recognition. She wants all the recognition. And if she feels slightly slighted in any way, she's going to jump out the window. No parachutes. No, she's out of there. You know what I'm saying? And she's willing to, some people would do anything for their respect, and she's willing to crash out over hers. Was this necessary? I don't think this was necessary, especially with Layla Ali. And when she came with those receipts that eat the video, it was a wrap for me.
No parachutes.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Trey's first. Yeah, shout out to Trey. Shout out to Trey. Yeah. But first of all, let me shout out to everybody who is locked in right now. We got a lot of people who's locked in with us right now. And we had a lot of people that was locked in with us last night. I want to give a shout out to Trey, tremendous Trey, for all the work that he was doing behind the scenes. And I want to give a massive shout out to Jams as well from Red Corner Boxing. You see that right there. Make sure you go and subscribe to Red Corner Boxing right there. That's family. Shout out to Jams and shout out to Mr. Neutral. We was able to do something beautiful. And when I mean by beautiful, we was able to put together an amazing show that we've been talking about for a while now. It was called Fight Night Chronicles, right? This is where me and Mr. Neutral, we get to chronicle old fights from the past. You know what I'm saying? And give them the fighters and the fights its flowers. You feel me? We was able to do that. That was one of the reasons why, because, and I wanted to do this show with Mr. Neutral because I was excited. I was excited to do the show with somebody that shared the same passion for the sport that I did. So our first episode that we had, shout out to my man, Mr. T, I see you. So the first episode that we did was the Rumble in the Jungle. It's only right. And it was the 51st anniversary of the Rumble in the Jungle. And me and Mr. Neutral, we did this. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out right now. It was so fire that the stream got shut down for a little bit. It was rocking. We had so many people tuning in. It was a lot of love. The stream got shut down for a second. But listen, we was able to fix it and get right back to action. So I definitely wanted to shout out everybody from Jams to Trade to bringing me and Mr. Neutral's dreams to reality. Everybody working tireless behind the scenes to make this show what it was, man. And I was just so proud and honored to do the show. I will show y'all my my messages, but this show, man, and the love and the passion that it took to put this show together and everybody on board with it, man, is enough to make you drop a tear. Mr. Neutral, I salute you, my brother, and thank you for joining me on this journey for Fight Night Chronicles. We got something special here. And how did you feel about the show, Mr. Neutral?
I was still buzzing at 3 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. No, it was profound to go back into the annals of history again. I love that word, the annals of history, and revisit that probably the biggest fight of the 20th century for many reasons. And that fight was the birth of rope-a-dope. It was the birth of the GOAT status that Muhammad Ali had, becoming undisputed for a second time against the unbeaten destroyer of men that was George Foreman. And the way he done it, the strategy, he used the heat. He had the power of the people behind him. And he had the element of surprise, as everybody, and I mean everybody, didn't give Muhammad Ali a chance. And that iconic picture shows the moment that Ali knew he'd won. And what you said so eloquently last night, Trill, was Ali didn't have to hit the man again after he was already on his way down. I've seen boxers go for overkill, but Ali knew he'd done the business 5 seconds before that picture was took, and at least 3 seconds before he didn't cock that last punch. And that was the measure of that man. And as George Foreman said, don't ever compare or ask me about, was he the greatest boxer I've ever met? He was the greatest man I ever met.
That was
I'll
beautiful.
leave it there.
That was beautiful. Vamp, was you able to catch the first episode?
Nah, but I will now though.
Yeah, I bet you will. Everybody watching this.
Yeah, I didn't get the shout, man. You know my timings are a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But
definitely. We'll definitely be promoting the link and sending the link out for everybody once again. Like I said, it was a beautiful show, and we will return with another episode of Fight Night Chronicles. And it's only right?
Come on.
Because I'm gonna get into something, right? Because the next episode I want to do is Mr. Connor Ben and Mr. Chris Eubank Sr. himself. So I want to do that iconic.
Oh, Nigel Ben.
Excuse me, Nigel Ben and Chris Sr. I want to see them both.
Which fight?
We're gonna do the first one. We're gonna do the first one. Yeah. We're gonna do that on Fight Night Chronicles. Speaking of them, you know, and it's only right that we do it this Sunday because in 2 weeks, November 14th. Are y'all ready for this? In 2 weeks, November 14th. Chris Eubank Jr., Connor Ben, the rematch will take place. You know, did you guys happen to see the face-off?
Nah,
I haven't seen it yet.
I just seen the clips.
Yeah, I seen the face-off. Y'all gotta go watch it. Everybody, I'm telling you to go watch it, man. You can cut the tension with a knife. Both guys, you can tell that they don't like each other. They want to get it on. Connor Ben want to punch him in the face. You know what I'm saying? These guys, you know, they want to get it on, man. So it's only right that we, you know, cover the first fight with their dads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good wrap. Early prediction time, just an early prediction time. You gotta let me know.
Go on, Van.
Who do you got, Van? Talk to me, Van. Who do you got? Unfinished business. This is the ring. Listen, the fathers, they fought twice. The fathers fought twice. Mr. Well, see, I'm gonna save some of this for when I do the show. You know what I'm saying? Fight Night Chronicles. But the first fight, Chris Senior, he won that fight. The second fight was considered a draw, and many people think that Ben won that fight.
Correct.
Many people thought that this was part 3. That was unfinished business, but this is part 2, unfinished business. We know what happened in the first fight. It was tremendous heart from Ben and Chris. Both of these guys was in there. So this was a tremendous fight. This is the second fight, unfinished business. Who do you got?
All right, cool. First off, I'm gonna shout out to my missus, my wife, bro. She set me up for the first fight. She surprised me. She made my friend take me to some place thinking we're gonna watch the fight, and she booked out a cinema room and told us to watch the first fight. It was incredible.
Shout out to the wife. Shout out to the wife.
Incredible. All my friends there was crazy because it was near my birthday. So I'm always gonna remember that fight, man. That was special. So I really didn't want this fight to happen. The second one. Because you can't recreate that. The way Senior came out of the car and shit, they turned
that was monumental. And then you had the guy announcing, "Father, he's here! He's here! We're united!"
And by the way, yeah, this is another thing that night just happened to be Chris Eubank Jr.'s night. It doesn't get better than that. You know, Liam Smith, right? His up, right? Like whilst Chris Eubank Sr. was coming out, right? Liam Smith was getting cooked. Who was he fighting? I can't remember who he was fighting. He was fighting someone, a young kid, man. He was just cooking the shit out of him. Thank you, Trey, bro. Big up.
Aaron McKenna.
Aaron McKenna, that's the one. And like you could see everyone looking at the TV screen, looking at Chris Eubank Sr. coming, while Liam Smith was getting cooked. I'm just like, this is Chris Eubank Jr.'s night, man. But anyway, sorry, I digress, bro. I'm going Chris Eubank Jr., bro. I'm going Chris Eubank Jr. Same again. I really like Bomac being back in his corner. There seems to be something, I don't know. Chris Eubank Jr. has always had a weird problem about respecting his coaches, that kind of thing. It seemed to like when things didn't go his way, he always had a reputation of kind of not listening to his coaches, kind of just going with his father. I listened to Roy Jones maybe a bit too much. But I believe there's something about Bomac that gets something out of him. I saw something I really liked in the Liam Smith fight, even though that it was just one fight and there was things about Liam Smith being injured or not being right for that fight, etc. There was just really something I really liked about them two together. And I believe that them coming back for this, there's a reason. I just like Bomac in fights, man. Bomac, big fights, he just seems to know how to get it done. He's a little bit biased because he does have Crawford. Yeah. But he just seems to find... like maybe it's a Crawford thing, I don't know, but I just like big fights. I trust Bomac to find strategies because Crawford doesn't just beat anybody anyway. You can tell that there's strategies in how Crawford fights. Granted, he's a bloody gifted fighter, right? He's a special one, but yeah, I just believe that they'll have a bit too much for Conor Ben. But I say that the fire in Conor Ben, the fire that's in that kid, that can get through some shit, bro. The fight, but that's my thing.
You can't deny the fire in Conor Ben. You have to respect it. I think that's what kept him going in that fight. This is the fire and the passion that this young man has. That is what got him through that fight. Mr. Neutral, early prediction.
It's going to be a great fight. Please don't bring me into this. I was a fan of the father. I'm a fan of the son. For his faults, and I, the business with the drug testing and that. If I have to put that aside now. And look at Conor Ben from a pure boxing spectacle. He was tremendous coming up in weight against Chris Eubank Sr. And I know Chris Eubank Jr. had his problems. This fight, there's no excuses. And if I would go back to 1996, being like 28 years of age, big Nigel Benn fan, And I love Chris Eubank as well. And they first meet, when they first meet, and you think, who do you pick out of these two legends? But you got to pick one. And I picked Nigel Benn, and he lost in the first fight. Very much like this fight. But the second fight, when he moved up in weight,
175, yeah.
different fight. Right? Different fight. Conor Benn's coming heavier this time round. He's actually near the 160-pound mark. He's coming at 154. 156 for the last fight. So he's already on the mark. I think Chris Eubank, how much did that last fight take out of him? The hospitalization. Today he released a video saying to, Eddie, you lied about me. Here's 20 minutes of me waiting in an ambulance. Couldn't get out of the stadium. Reigniting this promotional, I'll call it a barrage, what's going to come in the next week online. It's just going to be madness. They can't, and if Vamp's right, they cannot recreate the first time round. The specialness of Chris Eubank Sr., the iconic opening of the car door, and there's Chris Sr. greeting his son. You can't, and that's what really hyped the people up. Not only, I was watching online, people are saying, oh, Chris Eubank Sr.'s there.
Yeah.
People were buying the fight just for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The storyline. You can't do this time round. They need a different tactic. So they're going to pull on the legends that are the dads here. And the second fight was the draw. Could there be history repeat itself? I'm a great believer in history does repeat itself. If the circumstances are right.
Yeah, I was thinking that, man.
I don't know.
For me, right, are we ready to just put both of these guys' careers just to this? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, does Chris Eubank or Conor Benn have a career, or they're just going to be their dad's little crash dummies?
This is going to be their biggest paydays, his biggest payday in this iconic fights, grudge match, rivalry. They can do it 3 times. Hey, listen. Some people would be tied to each other. It's like boxing. You know what I'm saying? Mickey Ward and Terrell Gotti, Barrera and Morales. Some people just be tied to each other. You know what I'm saying?
It was the first time. It was a great fight. We're gonna get a great fight, guys. That's what we're gonna get.
There was a time when Muhammad Ali was tied to Ken Norton. He couldn't get away from Ken.
Yeah, him and Frazier, they were tied together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So yeah, some fighters, they just be tied together, man. But I definitely want to thank everybody for being locked in with us and still locked in with us, man. We almost did 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart for tuning in to another episode of the Commissioner's Recap. And please make sure that you tune into next Sunday for another episode of Fight Night Chronicles with me and Mr. Neutral. Mr. Neutral, please tell the people where they can find you at.
Neutral's Corner on X, and always on Red Corner Boxing on YouTube. / at Red Corner Boxing 99. There it is at the top. Thank you.
Yes, shout out to Red Corner Boxing. Van, talk to me. Let the people know where they can reach you at.
Just put in VXMP anywhere you catch me, bro. You catch the tunes, you catch the music. We've got that coming. But yeah, VXMP on Twitch. Yeah, bro. It's dropping, bro. We're working. VXMP Twitch. That's me on Twitch. I play my games. I talk my shit. Sometimes on Fight Night, you catch me on there. Or you catch me on YouTube live with the brothers them. But yeah, and VXMP FKM on X. I pop my shit over there. I'm gonna start working on the YouTube a lot more, so watch this space, bro.
Let's go.
You already know where to find me. That's Commissioner. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into another episode of the Commissioner's Recap. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and X. Much love, much respect. We out of here. We gone.